We are UK seaweed fertilizers, and we do a lot with that side of it. I'm also a independent soil specialist as well, and look at the soils.
Okay.
So the best place to start with on what you're going to do with your field is there.
Okay.
So what we'll do is, I'll just take I mean, obviously we could take a test of this and take it away. I can look at it under the microscope for life in the soils and what have you, but and also have it tested properly and find out what it's short of, but I can look at a lot of that under the microscope. But you can see there's a lot you can see by just looking, and even walking on you, I can tell these fields are very compacted. It's absolutely rock solid.
Yeah.
So what that does is stop oxygen going into the soil. It's a bit like you putting a polythene bag over your head, you're trying to run. There's no oxygen getting down in there. You should have about 25% oxygen in the soil, and that is the oxygen that all the bacteria and the microbes and the worms and everything else need oxygen to live on. They've got to have oxygen there to work.
Should we be ploughing it, Dave?
No, I don't think so. I think from what I can see at the minute, and we'll have a little bit more of a look in a second, but I think it wants a very good aerating. Just with a spike, and get a rolling spike and allow the oxygen to get down into the soil to get there, because those guys that are down in the soil, and there's more life in that soil than ever you will put in weight on top of the soil. Tons of things, bacteria and stuff in the soils, but they don't, unless you've got oxygen there for them to work with and work at their best potential, they're never going to, they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for you, all the time.
I haven't rested them. That's a problem because I haven't, it's the only thing I've got. I can't rest the fields.
Right.
And I've only got 4 horses and 2 ponies at the moment, but I have had 10 here at times.
Yeah.
So
well, aerating won't make any difference to the horses. The worst I've seen is where the gas comes out of the ground and the horses just start there and sort of, what's this? So what we'll do is just have a quick little look with a spade here, down in the ground, and have a look and see what we got. Talking of compaction, that is very, very compacted.
Right, okay.
Your roots are not, they're only just here, look, they're not going down a great depth into the soil. We break it open.
Yeah.
If you can see all of this little brown streaks in here, that's high iron in the soil.
That's good, isn't it, have iron?
Except high iron in the soil burns the white root hairs, these little white ones which are just being put down now, which are the new ones for this year. It burns them off, and it can reduce grass production up to about 70%.
Crikey.
So that's a big thing, and the only way of getting rid of that is aeration.
Okay.
The other thing is, there's no sort of, if you want to smell it, there's no real soil life in there. It doesn't smell like a nice, fresh.
Can't smell anything.
I'm a soil smeller.
Yeah. The other thing that I tend to do, which I get at quite a lot of leg pulling about, is just tasting the grass.
Crikey.
No. You don't need.
Horse whisperer.
Yeah.
This is incredible to see.
This, the grass on here it's just very bland. It's not a nice. It should be a nice sweet grass, and once you get the oxygen in the soil and get it working, get everything there going, the taste of that grass will change dramatically. And so that's on that side of it. So basically on here, 2 things you probably need to do is have a soil test for one thing, and secondly you definitely need to aerate it.
And that's something I have to get a farmer to do. That's the big wheelie things that they.
Well, just a rolling spike.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got a harrow. But
no, a harrow doesn't do it. You want to get going down in the ground about.
Deep enough, okay.
Yeah, like that. And I do it over a couple of times, and just really open it up this year, and then it's an annual thing you need to do.
Is that what I was going to say? Is that something you do every year?
Yeah, every year. Yeah. More important than rolling or harrowing and anything. Air into the soil is the most important thing. So, you know, if you've got something small, even a quad bike with an aerator behind will do
Yeah,
a
we've got a
reasonable
quad,
job.
we've got a quad bike.
So we've got, I mean, there's 4 horses in the stables at the moment with ponies. Check them out in the field here because we're going to spray shortly.
Yeah.
How long do they have to stay off the grass before it's safe to put on?
You don't even have to take them out, not with the seaweed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we do hundreds of acres with livestock still in the fields. Obviously, with horses, they're a bit skittish, and you know, you just got to be a bit careful. So it's advisable just to take them out whilst you're putting it on.
They're not going to digest anything that's going to harm them in any way.
No, because everything we put in on the ground, they could actually eat themselves. You could put it in their feed if you wanted to.
Could you?
Yeah, you can put
Yeah,
humic in the feed if
I
it's
think
in.
seaweed is
Yeah.
it's,
The only
it's
thing you
supplement.
wouldn't put in out of the mix that we're doing at the moment is our Bio-N, which you wouldn't put into a feed, which is the live bacteria. You wouldn't put that in a feed for an animal.
Sue's bought 2 of the paddock packs
Yes.
from Edwards, and there's a powder and a liquid
Yeah.
there. So what do we do with how does that work?
Well, the powder is 8 different strains of bacteria,
Okay.
and some of them they bring nitrogen from the air, the same as like clover does, and that's or any legume. Some of them go in and they mine into the soil and they cycle phosphates. They also cycle potash. But what happens is you can put these bacteria in and they multiply in the soil, and what they're doing is actually taking any nutrients that you've got in the soil as well and taking them and transporting them, putting them into the roots of the plant, so the plant is getting the nutrition out of the soil.
Yeah.
Whereas on a lot of soils, so this is quite dead, I would be very surprised if there's much bacterial life in there working, to be quite honest. I have seen soils where they're packed full of organic matter and stuff and working, you know, everything's working fine in there, and you can tell that. I've seen the slides you put under the microscope and you see when you just basically got a blank page because soil's so bad. But the way we can change it is getting the bacteria into the soil. And the bacteria working with the seaweed is, a lot of companies can put seaweed on, you know, or supply seaweed to go on, but there's seaweed and seaweed. This is what we got as a special blend, and the humic in there helps to feed, it's a carbon source and helps feed those bacteria and allows them to grow and multiply and whatever. So over the months, they just go from a few million, which you're putting in, to billions by the time they've been in there 6 months in the ground. And on the whole, on grazing, 1 application a year is absolutely fine.
Is that right?
How
How long did it take before? I mean, we're going to do some before and after photos. So Sue's going to photograph this today, Dave. How long before we come out here and sort of see it looking like Wimbledon?
Well, I think if you're going to go to that extreme, you've got to go through the full program of starting. It isn't just chucking the seaweed on and thinking that's. I mean, we've got a little bit of groundwork that one's doing here as well.
Yeah.
But to see the difference, you'll start to see it in a fortnight.
Would you really?
And we can take from application usually to taking a cut of hay or silage off land, we're looking 6 to 8 weeks, about the same as conventional fertilizers, really.
Brilliant.
But the conventional fertilizer is finished in 6 to 8 weeks. So when you've taken a cut of grass or your grazing's off, you then got to go and get some more and put another lot on.
Right, I'm with you.
Whereas with the seaweed, it'll keep going and give you another.
So
Or with our blend,
if
it'll
we
give you
put
another.
If we put the seaweed on today, and I put the horses back on tomorrow,
Yeah,
the grass will still grow, and in 2 weeks it'll just keep improving.
it'll just keep gradually improving. Yeah,
Even
just
though we
growing.
haven't aerated the ground.
Even though you haven't aerated it, but I
Can we
wouldn't.
do that after the seaweed's been put on?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no
Okay.
problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that sort of
Okay,
any time you
So we're
do.
going to get the rover out ready.
Okay.
We're going to use the small one today, the R100. We've mapped the field out, and let's get spraying.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go and help Steve just put the formulation right, and then we'll bring it out in the field. Yeah, Dave, thanks very much indeed.
Thank